Leafs fans don't want to hear this. With Joseph Woll slowly making his way back from injury, the goaltending situation in Toronto has never been a hotter topic. With Stolarz playing so good and having a great goalie coming back from injury, there is a big debate on who the starter will be, who will be the 1A in Toronto. This is going to play some major impacts on the rest of the Toronto Maple Leafs season, and we're going to break it down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, we gotta say that 72% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you're not subscribed already, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, before we get into the goaltending situation in Toronto, we gotta talk about Patches. We got a Patches injury update. If you missed it in that game last night against Columbus, where I'm guessing a lot of you Leafs fans may have turned it off because it was a tough watch last night. But in that game, it looked like in Pacioretty's last shift, he might have tweaked something in his lower body, didn't return to the game, but today we did get an update on that situation. And we'll just bring it up for you here. Leafs latest via Nick Alberga from Leafs Morning Take said it appears that Max Pacioretty avoided something serious and is day-to-day at this moment, which, if you're a Leafs fan, is great to hear because Max Pacioretty has really been one of those standout bottom six guys for this Toronto Maple Leafs team thus far throughout the however many games we're on this season. Not very many, but he has been a guy who has stood out every night, has been making scoring chances, and you just notice that guy in the broadcast or if you're in the stadium when you are watching these Leafs games. He's always creating chances for his team, and so far this season, if we just bring it up here, he does have 2 goals on the season in just 5 games, which is great. Obviously, we've seen him as a healthy scratch. You already know my take on that. I did not like that, and he gets back in the lineup and scores another goal since that video, and he has been looking very promising for this Toronto Maple Leafs side, and is a guy, a very experienced veteran that you want to have in your lineup if you are a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, because he has just been amazing so far. It's just we couldn't have anticipated this any more than what it is right now after this preseason. He looked great in the preseason on that PTO, and people were wondering, once the full lineups get into effect, will he have a great deal of effect like he is in the preseason? And there's no doubt about it right now. Patches is looking to be a solid bottom 6 guy for them, and that's all they need out of him and Lorentz, is a guy who's going to score a goal every now and then in that bottom 6, just to inject the life and scoring into their bottom 6, which is definitely happened so far this season from both Pacioretty and Lorentz. So both great pickups. It's great to hear that Patches it doesn't have anything serious along with his injury, so I would say maybe he will be healthy scratch just for precautionary reasons against St. Louis, but who knows, he could draw back into that game. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Patches and Lorentz so far this season down below in the comment section. And it's time to get into what everybody's here for, and that is the Leafs have a tough decision to make, and of course with the likes of Stolarz and Joseph Woll right now, the goaltending situation in Toronto has never been a hotter topic of debate, with Stolarz playing so well, making some great game-saving saves here at the start of the season during Woll's absence. A lot of Leafs fans are wanting Stolarz to be that 1A goalie for Toronto, but it is split. A lot of people want Stolarz to be the starter, but a lot of people still have faith in Joseph Woll and what he can do. And just to recap what's going on with Joseph Woll here, there's a lot to break down. On October 18th, from Spit and Chicklets, we did see a video from the warm-up where he was on the ice for the first time since the start of the season, which was great to hear. But since then, there's been, he's very close. He's projected to be the starter tonight, but no, he's held out again, and Dennis Hildeby is in that, and that was what was supposed to be last night. We thought Joseph Woll was going to get the start, but then Dennis Hildeby got the call-up and got into that game last night, and unfortunately, it didn't look good. I still got got faith in the Hildebeest. I love this guy. I think he's going to be a great goaltender for Toronto. But we're not here to talk about Hildeby. We're here to talk about Joseph Woll. And Darren Dreger said that Joseph Woll is considered doubtful for Thursday's game against the Blues. So it's not looking like he is going to get back in and get the start against Craig Berube's old team, where he really wants to get that win. So when you really want to get that win, do you want to come with a goalie who's just coming off injury, or do you want to go with the guy who's been amazing so far in Anthony Stolarz? And from Overdrive here, the boys on the show, love that show actually on TSN. The boys said, I'd play Anthony Stolarz against the Blues and look for a different return for Joseph Woll. I agree with this. I think it's Berube's grudge match, and he wants to go with the hot hand right now in Anthony Stolarz, in my opinion. And if we just look at Stolarz, I mean, this guy has been phenomenal for this Toronto Maple Leafs side. A lot higher anticipation than what we thought. We thought, yeah, he's going to be a solid goalie here for Toronto. He's been a great backup, but can he, play those 30, 40 games that the Leafs may need out of him? And as of right now, he's looking great. I mean, 3-2 record, but putting up a .938 save percentage, which is 10th in the league right now. And Stolarz, in my eyes, has really opened a lot of Toronto Maple Leafs fans' eyes. And this is something that maybe Leafs fans don't want to hear, but I'm going to say it right now. I think Joseph Woll is going on my fraud watch. I think he's potentially a fraud here in the NHL. I mean, we see maybe he pulled the wool over Toronto Maple Leafs fans' eyes, saying, hey, we finally got a goalie that's fun to watch, but that Toronto hasn't had in a long time. A goalie that they need. They really needed a goalie because they haven't had a good one in a very long time. And I think the wool was pulled over our eyes because we got to see Joseph Woll be a great goaltender, but only for 30-something games. If we just bring up the stats for Joseph Woll so far early on in his NHL career, at 26 years old, he only has 36 games played. He has 36 starts. This is due to injury. He's been out with multiple different injuries so far throughout his career, and obviously you don't wish injuries upon any player in the NHL. I would love to sit here and say, hey, Joseph Woll is an amazing goalie. He's the next big goalie in the NHL. But if injuries weren't a thing, if injuries were turned off like on NHL 25 franchise mode, we would be sitting here talking about that. But unfortunately, that isn't the case, because when you have a 1A goalie, a guy who's the goaltender of the future for your team, you want him to be starting every night. And in his starts, he has looked good. I'm not saying he's a fraud because maybe he's a bad goalie, but it's just the injuries that, Islanders fans could relate. Maybe a Rick DiPietro. I don't want to go out there and curse it, but it is seeming eerily similar to me. And I think what we've seen here in Toronto is a goaltender that's looked good, has pulled the wool over the eyes of the Toronto Maple Leafs fans. So then when a solid, great goaltender comes in Anthony Stolarz, we're all kind of sitting back there like, whoa, this is what good goaltending looks like in the NHL, and we're like, hey, maybe this Joseph Woll guy isn't what he's all cracked out up to be. That's my opinion on the matter. I think watching Joseph Woll, he has played good, he has made game-saving saves, you can't take that away from him, but all around, Anthony Stolarz has looked like the better goalie in my opinion. He's made goal line saves this season. He's just a big, huge body in the net. He looks way bigger in the net than Joseph Woll, and if this Leafs team can pick it up offensively and help this guy out, he could be one of the best goalies in the NHL, in my opinion. I think if they can go on a little run here, he's already had a .938 save percentage, and he has 2 losses. Like, we need to pick up the offense here to help our goaltending out. And yes, when Joseph Woll comes back, it is going to be a tough decision for the coaching staff. Do you go with the guy that you have relied on for the last couple of seasons? Or do you go with the new guy here in Stolarz, who is 30 years old? I mean, he's in the prime of his career. He was one of the best backups in the NHL last year and is looking to be one of the best goalies in the NHL right now. Obviously, he's not up there with the likes of Gustafsson and Hellebuck, but do I think he could get there by the end of the season? It's a bit of a reach, but he could. I think he's definitely shown so far this season that if this defense can be very solid in front of him, which I think the additions of Tanev and these guys, these defensive guys, have helped that out by blocking shots. I think he could easily, and not easily, but he could get there. I genuinely think he could be one of the top 10 goalies, maybe even higher by the end of this season. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below. I know it's a hard pill to swallow for you Leafs fans, but I mean, I don't hold anything against Joseph Woll. Obviously, injuries happen, and it just sucks that it keeps happening to him. There's been a number of players throughout the years who have dealt with this same scenario where they have great potential, but ultimately injuries ruin their career, and I don't want to see that for Joseph Woll. I want to see him come out here and prove he is the 1A goalie. He is the goalie of the future for Toronto, but right now, it looks like Anthony Stolarz. Want to hear your guys' thoughts on that take down below in the comment section. We're going to get everybody's favorite topic here on the channel, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Jimmy. Jimmy says, welcome to the Hat-Trick HQ community, Darius. And if you guys missed it, we did add a new member to the channel in Darius, and also another new member in Nick. They both did their first duo video together here on the channel this morning on the Winnipeg Jets. That video will be popping up on your screen towards the end of this video. And just like Jimmy said, warm welcome to the boys here. We're happy to have some more faces on the channel, and there's some great guys, and they know their hockey, so you guys are going to love them as well. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 5,000 subscribers here on the channel, so if you're not subscribed, you want to keep up on the latest NHL content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out that Nick and Darius video they did on the Jets, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.